This episode is brought to you by The Farmer's Dog, a service that delivers gently cooked, freshly made pet food straight to your door. Each balanced recipe is developed by board-certified nutritionists and clinically proven to support healthy aging. The Farmer's Dog, guided by science, driven by love. New customer? Get 50% off your first box at thefarmersdog.com/Spotify. Plus, you get free shipping.
This episode is brought to you by Espolón Tequila. Slow, sticky, snoozy. They call these the dog days of summer. But Espolón? They don't do boring. Welcome to the Marg Days. Espolón Tequila. 100% blue Weber agave, born to shake up your summer. Just add lime, agave, and a little attitude. Visit espolontequila.com. Espolón Tequila, 40% alcohol, volume 80 proof. Copyright 2025 Campari America, New York, New York. Drink responsibly.
Hello, I'm Diane Morgan. If you know who I am, you know who I am. If you don't, who cares? I'm here to explain Italian Time, a holiday phenomenon where Italians throw away their clocks and gather for eternity with San Pellegrino. I've been at this party so long that I've eaten 5 courses, hugged someone's grandma twice, and been offered a job in the family restaurant. So this holiday season, make sure to bring enough San Pellegrino to last you through the meal, the after meal, and the entire goodbye ritual. San Pellegrino, holiday on Italian Time.
Hello.
Okay, so you can hear me, right?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so we can't hear Matt. Matt, have you been doing this whole live stream silent this whole time?
Hey,
There you
here
go.
I am. Problem solved.
Whatever you said to introduce me, nobody heard it. So
All right, here we're
Okay.
gonna do take 2. I'm gonna drop you guys both out. Here we go. Hey, Geekscapists, we're back. It's time for the YAOK discussion of our top 5 favorite things that we read this year. Is it including only new releases? Is it exclusively YA? That I don't have an answer for, but I do know one thing. I know one author is not going to be included in today's rankings, and that is Eric J. Brown, because you did not have a book that came out this year.
yeah. Plus, I mean, we know that everybody's favorite book, well, yours and Melissa's favorite book that you read is obviously this one, which comes out next month. So, Better the
Ooh,
Devil.
is that available for pre-order? And where
It
are
is
the best
available for
places in which
pre-order.
to do that?
Wherever you want to buy books. You can buy it from Amazon, you can buy it from Barnes & Noble. It's even better if you buy it from your local independent bookstore, because independent bookstores are more important than ever in these times.
Well, we could not do this ranking without our mostly regular co-host, Alyssa Lube, who's
Mostly regular.
Mostly regular. How many
Listen,
episodes have I missed?
Tibia.
you've missed at least 4, maybe 5.
Really?
Yeah.
It's
Next
really-
year's my year off. I'm
Yeah.
gonna be dropping out every time.
Look at you.
No.
I think I
and-
missed one. I did.
Yeah,
miss
you
one.
better have a good excuse. There better have been
I had a
some
good
giant
excuse for mine, so.
life changes that have happened. since we were
Well,
last on.
you know, and it's funny that you say that because I'm not wearing my ring, which is it's over there. It's just
Just hold up an empty hand. So,
out.
as you can all see,
As you can see, I've had some life changes. I got a tattoo.
yeah.
I am a fiance now though, which makes me feel very weird and old.
Yeah.
So
Exciting. Congratulations.
thank you so
Yeah,
much.
this is-
Um,
I mean, it's a celebration of never having to be on the apps ever again, which is
oh boy,
a
is
huge
it?
win.
Boy, is it. And you know what? And I'm really looking forward to you guys meeting him at some point because he's a very unique person and we are also very unique people. And I think that you guys will really appreciate the uniqueness in that. A very good example is this morning, I got a voice note from him. He went to trivia last night and he was thrilled that there was a section of trivia that was hard rock because he thrived in that category. And he also got the bonus question, which
Ooh.
is in Annie, and I'm curious if you guys are going to know.
Ooh.
In Annie, the musical, what is the phrase that Annie says when she's excited?
I've actually only seen Annie once, so I do not have an answer to this.
Well, that's crazy.
Yeah, I know.
Eric J. Brown, any thoughts? Would you like a
No.
hint?
Yes. Give me
It's
a-
alliteration.
Yeah.
The phrase has
I don't know that.
alliteration. Leapin'
I have seen Annie
Lizards.
multiple times.
Leapin' Lizards is from
Lizards.
Annie. Oh,
Right.
Leapin' Lizards is from Annie, and he got that. And he was really thrilled about it. And I was like, and that is the duality of man.
I could only think of
Mike Westfall
What's it
knew it. He sent us a lizard emoji.
A
in the
lizard.
chat.
Thank you.
in Little Women. That's what I was thinking of because what's her face says Christopher Columbus instead of.
Gotcha.
That's what I was thinking.
Florence
of.
Pugh.
You know, you mentioned Little Women. In my desperate attempt to stay up until midnight to start this live stream,
Yes.
I just had random episodes of Friends on, and it
Yes.
was the episode
Shining.
where he gets Jennifer Aniston to read The Shining and she gets him to read Little Women, and then she gets mad that he spoils the ending of The Shining. She's like, Beth dies at the end, and he starts crying. Why would you tell me that?
I mean, and if you're not going to be traumatized by Little Women, then I don't really think that you're doing it the right way
No.
anyway.
Yeah.
Mild trauma. It's cozy. It's Christmassy. Traumatic.
Listen, and I hope, I mean, I have to meet the man first, but I hope that by next year that Kevin will be one of the many musical guests that we have throughout the 24-hour Geekscape live stream. So,
Oh, you know what he would be an excellent guest for?
One Hit Thunder.
Oh
Wow.
my God.
All right, well, let me meet him
Yes.
first.
Well, yeah.
I cannot believe that I
figure it out first. We gotta. What's the
I
word?
identify as one of probably my friends. I haven't met their fiance, let alone
Okay.
their.
And to be fair, he is on tour. He's a touring musician, so he's on tour a lot. And so most people in my life have only met him, if they have met him, like twice.
Okay.
So you're not.
All right.
It's not a Matt Kelly specific issue. It's a Kevin Burke specific.
That's
issue.
what a lot of people say when it's a Matt Kelly specific issue. Anyway, that's enough of the life updates.
Yes.
Before we dive into this list, obviously, I need to say geekscapegives.com. Please make a donation to the Big Brothers Big Sisters of Coastal and Northern New Jersey. For $2,000, they're able to match a little with a big for a full year. Their goal next year is to match 2,000 littles with 2,000 bigs. This year, they were able to pull off 1,900. So let's put some money towards that, help that goal happen. I know that Katie Hampton said earlier today that any purchases of her Take Your Meds t-shirt from geekscape.dashery.com, she will double the proceeds from those shirt sales today to go to the charity. So go to geekscape.dashery.com, and if you buy a Take Your Meds t-shirt, that money will also go to a good cause as well. Anyway, Eric, are we? I wrote 5. We were debating if we are capable of doing this in 50 minutes with 5 books. What I was going to suggest is that we do top down instead of 5 to 1,
just in case we don't get to. 4
if
and
we
5.
need to speed run 4 and 5, we have the opportunity to.
That's what I was planning because I do have my 3 picked out, and then I have 3 honorable mentions, so I got 6.
Okay,
Wow.
well, if you got 6, I'm going to write down my honorable mention that I cut this morning.
Because we can speed run them at the end if we want. We can all just talk over each other too.
Yeah, we'll just say it all at once.
Okay, this is also going to be really interesting because as you know, if you are a listener of this pod, this was a reading slump year for me. And so I only read like 11 books this whole year.
I was going to say, as I was clearing out, this is the time of the year where I post something on Instagram every day of memories from my phone, the photos in my film roll on my phone. And when I was going through those, I found the screenshot that I sent you, I believe in August. That was Alyssa has read 6 of her 50 book goal. And I sent it to you, and I was like, I don't think you're going to achieve this goal.
The crazy thing is, I think the year before I read 40 books, something like that, and I was like, I was really happy, and I was like, wow, I can't believe I read that many books. I was like, this year, 50. We're doing 50. Wow, did that not happen?
When I was
overshot
getting my
this year as
list
well.
together, though,
Mhm.
I thought in my head, I was like, I don't think I read any good books this year. Because like this year's been a little weird for me and I kind of
Yeah.
forgot most of it.
Yeah.
But like as I was going through, I was like looking at my bookshelf and then I was looking at my Goodreads
Mhm.
and there's things on my Goodreads that I didn't even log that I loved. And I had to
Oh.
go back and do that. And I realized I read a lot of really good books this year. Like there's been some like
Yeah.
fine ones. It was very like, okay, middle of the road. But I read like the 6 books that I've chosen were my favorite books of the year. And one of them is my favorite book that I've probably read in so many years. And I can't wait to talk to you guys about it because I think both of you are gonna fucking
We're gonna
love it.
freak out. Okay.
Not
Okay.
even because I wouldn't even freak out. I was like on the fence about reading this book. And
Wow.
I finished it literally yesterday. No, 2 days ago at probably 1 a.m. because I stayed awake wanting to finish it.
Oh my
So,
god, I love when that happens.
yeah.
And I just want to check. I think I'm also not going to achieve my goal. Yeah, I overshot. So I read 50 books last year and I said I'm going to go for 75 and I'm currently at 50 books out of 75 read. So I'm
Okay.
basically right where I was last year. But
Read some
But 50
Goosebumps.
is good.
Middle grade.
Yeah.
Quick ones.
Get that
something you
number
can get
get
really,
that
really
number up.
fast.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to start first, A, because I'm not on every episode, and B, because my number one book is the only book that isn't written by a past guest or a potential future guest.
Wow.
I don't even
Oh,
think
you
it
hate
counts
them.
as middle grade, or it doesn't count as YA, I mean. And Alyssa, you are the one that gave me this book. It is, I believe it's Gabrielle Zevon with Tomorrow and Tomorrow and
Oh.
Tomorrow.
That
Yes.
was rough for me when
A
I read it.
banger. Yeah, it's really it's
Very
tough.
propulsive, but like it's kind of a gut punch at times.
100%.
Multiple times, actually.
Yes.
It's a pretty heartbreaking book about friendship, which is a weird combination of words.
Yeah.
But I mean, this was one of those ones to me. All of the 6 books that I ended up putting on my list were like the ones where I would stay, I become like a go to bed at 9 a.m. or 9 p.m. kind of guy. These are the books where I was like staying up until 10:30, 11 p.m. because I just I was like, I haven't hit a good stopping point and I need to just keep reading and reading and reading. And Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow is a pretty long book
Yeah.
by all accounts. It's one of those books that I kind of don't like where the chapters could be like 50, 60 page long chapters at points.
Yeah.
And I still think I read this book in like 4 days. Like
Yeah.
I could not put it down. I actively think that 5-day period, I got almost no work done. Because normally when like Barb and the kids aren't home, that's when I like go in the basement to do some video editing or I'll like knock out a podcast edit. And I was just like, sweet. And I just put on some relaxing music and read more Tomorrow and Tomorrow, like alone in the house and just had like a peaceful hour of reading. So highly recommend. Great book. Thank you so much. I would have never even picked that up to read it, but you had gifted it to me for my birthday a year ago. I don't know, but it was great.
Yay. I'm so glad you liked it. It was really such a beautiful book. And I probably wouldn't have picked it up either based on like it's a story of friendship, but it like takes the backdrop of it is this group of people making like a video game company. And like based on that, I probably would be like, oh, sounds good. Maybe I'll give it to my brother, whatever. But it is such a beautiful story. So I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah.
Even if you don't like video games, people I think will enjoy it.
I don't. Yeah.
It's very easy it's very accessible, I feel like. It doesn't get in the weeds on like what video games are and the way it describes the video games. It also, if you're not a gamer, I feel like you could kind of still picture it and be like, oh, okay, cool. And it also gives you like real world things to tie it into as well.
It reminded me, the writing style reminded me a lot of right after college, I had a John Irving kick where I was reading like A Prayer for Owen Meany and the New Hampshire Hotel New Hampshire and a few others, and it has that similar style of writing where just like you love these characters, all of these characters are very flawed and horribly tragic things happen to these characters, and there's like hints of romance that are never ever going to work out, but like it's a very interesting, layered, crazy book that I loved every second of reading.
Yay. Love it.
Who's
That's good.
next?
That's perfect. I think you go next, Eric.
All right, so I'm trying to think if I should start with my like number one or if I should go up to my number one, because I was like, ooh, that like friendship ties into my number one, but I think all of mine are about
Go
friends.
for your number one, because you don't want it to be like 5 minutes to go and
Good
you're like
point.
speed
All right.
talking about your number one.
So my number one was King Sorrow by Joe Hill.
Hell yeah.
It is. Let me tell you something. This is the book. This is the best book I've read in years, and it's about a group of college students who one of them is kind of being blackmailed by a drug dealer who, like, this kid's mom is in prison, and the drug dealer's mom is also in prison. So basically, they're saying, we're going to kill your mom in prison if you don't steal books from this library, these rare books that you only have access
Oh my
to
God.
for us to go resell. And so he's doing all of this with his friends, and they get really drunk and high one night and accidentally summon a dragon to come and
Oh
kill
God.
the drug dealers.
Wow.
And so they like make this pact, the dragon takes it out and then comes back to them and says, okay, well, now you have to do this every single year until either one of you dies or until one of you like gives yourself up as a sacrifice. And then like they basically just have to choose somebody to kill every single year. Otherwise one of them has to die. And when I like heard about it, I was like, I like Joe Hill. This is Stephen King's son, by the way, if anybody doesn't know. I like Joe Hill's books, but I'm like not a big dragon person. So I was like, you know what? I don't think this one's going to be for me. And I wasn't going to read it. And also, it is almost 900 pages.
I was going to say, that's a thick boy for Joe Hill.
It is. She's a thick bitch. Like,
yeah.
let me tell you something.
Like, that's like Nosferatu 8-2 level thick for a Joe Hill.
I think this is like 2 versions of Nosferatu. Like,
yeah.
I started this book the Sunday or Monday before Thanksgiving, and I finished it 2 days ago.
Whoa.
This is the kind of book that I carved out time in my day to read. And I wasn't just reading for like 10 pages. I was reading like 50 to 100 pages a day reading this.
Wow.
Book. It is so fucking good. The friendship is great. It blends probably 8 different genres into this one book. And there was not one time in this 900 pages where I was like, all right, this is a little bit too much. I think we could have trimmed the fat off. There's like one part maybe right here that I was like, I feel like this is kind of getting a little in the weeds. But as soon as I felt that, I was like, oh, I see what's going on now. Okay, I got it. I'm back.
I've said this hot take before. I genuinely think Joe is a better writer than his dad.
Wow.
And I think part of it,
he's already kind of like at the tail end of Stephen King's career, where it was like everything was great. Yeah. And I think that's where he's starting. So you can see a lot of his dad in here. He also has a lot of references to different, like the Dark Tower. I think he references 5 or 6 times in this. Yeah. He references a bunch of other Stephen King books.
I just genuinely think that, like you said, trimming the fat, there are so many Stephen King books that I've read and enjoyed, but felt like there was so much fat on them that it like would hit these, even something like It, which I would argue that it might be the best book Stephen King's ever written. That thing could still lose like 300 pages and be just as good as it is. But I almost never feel that way about Joe Hill. Like, I feel like Joe Hill's books are pretty concise and to the point.
Where, like, they're as long as they need to be.
Yeah.
Even this one, I was like,
King is his short stories. Yeah. His short stories are where I feel like King is at his best. So,
and I think if either of you are like, oh, I don't know if I want to start an almost 900-page book, I encourage you to get the audiobook because number one, it's 26 hours, so it's very long, obviously. But they have a whole cast that reads the audio. So you have different narrators for all of the different characters.
It's like an audio play almost.
Yeah,
I love
so
that.
I'm like, I'm like thinking about buying it myself and just listening to it because I was like, shit, I just finished reading the book, but maybe I should listen to it too. I'm gonna probably save it for the next time because it is such a great book. I think especially if you're like me and you're like, dragons really aren't my thing. there is the perfect amount of dragon in this book. Like, because
Wow.
there is dragon, but like the amount of dragon you get is the amount of dragon you need, and it's no more, no less. It's perfect. I loved it.
So you're saying there's plenty of dragon, but no dragging.
Yes.
Very good. Very good.
There's your Goodreads review, Eric. You're welcome.
Very good. Speaking of Goodreads, I just added that to my want to read.
Same. And a bunch of other Joe Hill books that I didn't realize I haven't read yet.
Okay.
I mean, there's only
Alyssa,
5 of his actual novels. The rest are just comics and short stories.
Yeah, there's a lot of like lock and key stuff in there.
Mm.
How about you, Alyssa? What was your of the 5 books you read? What was your favorite?
Seriously, that's how it feels. Okay, so of the books that I read, I think my favorite is Mary by Nat Cassidy. That book is about a woman in her, like, she's like a middle-aged woman, and she can you guys hear me okay? Because I'm realizing I can't hear myself, and usually I can. It's weird. Anyways.
You sound great.
Okay, great. So she's a woman in like her middle age, and she's the real like root of the story is about what happens to women as they reach this like middle age, menopause, like part of their life, and they suddenly feel really, really devalued. And that's sort of like, that's the root, that's like the backdrop of it. But the actual story is about this woman, Mary, who goes back to her hometown where there was a serial killer. And as the story goes, you find that she has this like connection to the serial killer in a way that, like, I don't want to give anything away because it is really interesting, but it's like slightly, it's like ghosty, but not like not like Haunting of Hill House ghosty, but like there are apparitions that she sees, but you can't tell if it's like her losing her mind or maybe it's her hormones or whatever. And she like goes to the hospital at some point and the doctors are just telling her everything is just her hormones. It's, oh, they just miss everything. They're like, oh, it's just your menopause. That's what it is. And so it's like this really interesting, like the author Nat Cassidy really plays with that like back and forth, which like a lot of women experience even now, where many times women will go to doctors or hospitals or whatever and will get their symptoms dismissed as being like hormonal stuff. It happens frequently actually with heart attacks for women, that they'll say that it's anxiety and that it's, you know, oh, are you around your cycle, that sort of thing. So I loved that story was being told in the midst of something that was disgusting and creepy and like truly a book that felt like horror and also women's lib. So it was really, really interesting. Yeah. And Nat Cassidy is a man. And so at the end of the book, he has like a little section that's like, I sat on this story for like 15 years because I wasn't sure if a man should tell the story, but he saw the experience his mom had, and that really with menopause and being middle-aged, and that really inspired him to share the story anyway. And you know, it wouldn't be a podcast without my dogs barking. So
I was like, do you have them like set up where every once in a while they hit a button, they get a treat, and then they'll start barking?
I know, seriously, it feels that way. But yeah, so that's gonna be my number one, Mary by Nat Cassidy. If you like something spooky and you like serial killer ghosty vibes, this is for you.
And menopause.
And good old hormones.
Well, I said probably the most I'm going to say about any of these books at the front with tomorrow. But I will say that my number 2 book is from a past guest, Rex Ogle. Is it Ogle?
Ogle.
Or Ogle? Rex Ogle, which was Abuela, Don't Forget Me, which is a heartbreaking middle grade book of poetry that I read the entire book in my car while waiting to pick up the kids from school.
That's crazy.
It's like it's maybe like 100 pages, and they're all like, you know, they're short form poems. So it's, you know, not a hard read. It's a middle grade book. It's not a hard read, but I was just sobbing uncontrollably. For those of you not familiar with the concept of this book, it's about Rex's grandmother, who is the probably the only person he trusted while he grew up in a very unhealthy home filled with child abuse and alcoholism and other issues. And it was written after his grandmother was diagnosed with dementia. He wrote a series of poems of all of the memories he had with his grandmother, kind of as like a, hey, if you ever start to forget me, that this is who I am in your life. And reading it through that lens, it is just heartbreaking every single page. But I loved it. I loved it. This is like one of those books I would gift to anybody. If you are like, if you're someone in, say, your 30s and 40s, and you're about to have your first child and your parents are about to become a grandparent, this is like an incredible book to gift them as like their first like grandparent gift, because it is so heartfelt about the importance of a grandparent in your life. But yeah, I love it so much. Please, everybody should go and read it ASAP.
What's it
I love
called?
Rex.
Abuela, Don't Forget Me.
Okay. Love.
All right, Eric, it's on to you for book number 2.
My next one is also a former guest. We just had Rory Power on this year, and it's Kill Creatures.
You've been raving about this one, yeah.
It's so good because it's basically it is about this teen girl who her friends have mysteriously vanished one day, and she's the only person that came back from their hike. Nobody knows what happened to them. There's no bodies, there's no evidence of a crime. They're just gone. And a year later, she is going to the memorial for them, and one of them is found in the water alive. And she immediately, this is all in the first chapter, by the way, she immediately looks at them and goes, that can't be my friends because I killed them a year ago. And that is how the book starts. You find out that the main character is a murderer. She killed all of her friends, and now one of them is back from the dead, and she does not know why. And it's a very quick read. I went from a 900-page read to one that is, let's see, I think 265 pages. It is fast. You will basically speed through it. Maybe if you need a break after reading King's Sorrow and you need to let your bicep muscles, or like whatever muscles are here, I guess, rest, then you go for Kill Creatures next. It's so good. It is just, what is it? I support women's rights, but I also support women's wrongs. That's this book. Because like, yeah, I rooted for this killer the whole time.
Okay, I love it.
I loved it.
I just downloaded the audiobook. I'm gonna listen to that today.
I love it so much.
Okay, I love that, and that's on my want to read, so I'm gonna start that. Okay, my next favorite, actually also a previous guest, Gay the Prey Away by Natalie Naudus. I loved that book. I thought it was a beautiful story. I'm very into fundamentalist religions, so like that's like a little special interest of mine. So and like purity culture and that kind of stuff. So it like touched on things that I personally am really interested in, but to hear the experience of people going through that upbringing is so impactful and so special. And the story shows how resilient you can be at a very young age, and how like if the life that you want is not the one that you see around you, there are always things that you can do to strive towards the one that you're looking for. And that's like a life lesson that I learn over and over again. And so hearing that from someone very, very young, from the lens of someone very, very young, was very cool. And being able to talk to Natalie too, and hear how much of that story is a reflection of her own. And it was just a really beautiful story. It was really fun to read, and I loved it.
That was a great episode too, when we were talking with Natalie about it.
Yeah, it was
like,
awesome.
Finding what the inspiration was, and like her own like kind of experience and her like process. As she was figuring all of it out. It was really interesting.
Yeah, it was great. I loved it. That's my number 2.
Nice. First of all, I want to give a shout out to local librarian Lauren Longbottom, who just made a donation to Big Brothers Big Sisters, bumping us to 10% towards our goal at $209 of our $2,000 goal. Keep those donations coming.
Does it ever feel like you're a marketing professional just speaking into the void? But with LinkedIn ads, you can know you're reaching the right decision makers, a network of 130 million of them, in fact. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills, and did I say job title? See how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a free $250 credit for the next one. Get started at linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
Oh, Hilton stay, oh, Hilton stay. Your beds are soft and cozy. No lumpy couch, no stiff futon, no shower line at crack of dawn. Oh, Hilton stay, oh, Hilton stay. Our holiday you're saving.
When you want holiday comfort you can count on, it matters where you stay. This season, enjoy spacious, comfortable rooms and friendly service when you book with Hilton instead. Hilton for the stay.
The Subaru Share the Love event is on from November 20th to January 2nd. During this event, Subaru donates to charities like Make-A-Wish, helping grant more than 3,900 wishes so far. When you purchase or lease a new vehicle during the 2025 Subaru Share the Love event, Subaru and its retailers will make a minimum $300 donation to charity. Visit Subaru.com/share to learn more.
Here's to quitting. Quitting the couch for a quick run. Quitting the snooze button for a morning workout. Quitting giving up after 2 weeks. You see, staying committed to your fitness goals isn't easy. But with Apple Watch, you don't have to do it alone. Because Apple Watch gives you real-time motivation, plus advanced metrics that track all your workouts, so you can stick to your New Year's fitness resolutions. And once and for all, quit quitting with Apple Watch. iPhone 11 or later required.
This is Jason Momoa, and I'll be your finance professor today. Welcome to Banking Smarter 101 with Chime. Bam! First lesson, sign up for Chime and set up direct deposit. You'll be joining millions of members banking fee-free. Second lesson, get cash back on eligible purchases while building credit and a higher APY on your savings. That's how you bank smarter this season. Fa-la-la-la-la, class dismissed. Join Chime today.
Chime is a financial technology company, not a bank. Banking services and a secure Chime Visa credit card provided by the Bancorp Bank N.A. or Stride Bank N.A. Members FDIC. Optional services and products may have fees or charges. Details at chime.com/fees-info. With a qualifying direct deposit, earn 1.5% cash back on eligible secure Chime Visa credit card purchases. On-time payment history may have a positive impact on your credit score. Results may vary. APY means annual percentage yield. Learn about credit building and more at chime.com.
My number 3, another person we've had on the show, but not to promote this book. When this author came on to promote this book, Eric had recommended this book to Alyssa in the intro or outro, and I wrote it down as something for me to also read, and I just finished it last week and loved it so much, and that is Sophie Gonzalez's Perfect on Paper. Such a fun little rom-com read. The concept of this one is that a girl at a local high school basically figures out the combination to this one locker, and because her mom works at the school, she's able to make sure no one ever gets assigned that locker, and creates this local legend that if you put an envelope with $10 into that locker with whatever your current love issue is, you will receive an email within a week that will give you perfect love advice. And she makes a little career out of being like a Dear Abby for her school, until things start to happen when someone writes in about her crush, and she decides to give not great love advice to make sure that her crush stays single until she's ready to ask her crush out, and her whole world kind of starts to crumble around her from that inciting incident. And it is just so charming. It's such a sweet, charming read. Definitely one that, again, like I said, couldn't put it down, was up until like 11 at night, some nights, just reading 5 or 6 chapters because I needed to know what happened next.
Perfect on Paper is so good.
That's
one I want. I want that one to become like a Netflix like movie. I think that one is like primed for like a really good adaptation.
It's so doable too. It's not even like not to get too in the weeds of filmmaking, but doesn't even have like a ton of locations. It's maybe 3 or 4 locations. You could make it for so cheap with like, don't even get stars. You know what I mean? Like, introduce us to a cast of new, delightful, early 20 something actors playing high school seniors.
What? I think we just need to contact Sophie ourselves.
Yes.
Contact Sophie.
We'll do it.
Geekscape Productions.
I thought you were going to say that we should just act in it. Like, we should just do it. I'm like, and we all look like we're in high school, and that's perfect.
Absolutely. I think I just need a wig. Perfect. Actually,
exactly.
No, I don't. I don't need a wig.
You don't.
I'll be the high school kid with alopecia.
Yeah. Representation. It's important.
Representation matters.
But back to you, Eric, for your number 3.
Another guest. The Corruption of Hollis Brown by Kay Ancrum. I'm going to be real. Talking with Kayla, I know we shouldn't have favorites, but talking with Kayla was like kind of like scrubbing your brain, like in a good way, like getting a brain massage. That's what it was. I could talk to her for hours. Like, I loved it. Like, first of all, I love Kayla's writing. If you have never read a Kay Ancrum book, they are flash fiction. So basically,
I read Icarus based on your
chapter,
recommendation, and it almost made my top 5. That book was amazing as well.
Each chapter is about a page long. They're all written very quickly. They go from one to another, and you can speed read this. This specific book is about this kid who is possessed by a ghost. The kid's name is Hollis. The ghost's name is, I forgot what the ghost's name was. But anyway, he gets Walt. So Walt, it has been basically possessing people throughout his entire life since like the early 1900s, I guess. And when he possesses Hollis, takes over his body, Hollis becomes kind of a passenger within his own body and sees Walt kind of interacting with his friends and his family and slowly making his life better. And Hollis eventually decides that he wants to keep Walt in his body forever and wants to trap him there. So it's kind of a reversal of what you would think it would be, where a ghost would usually be the one who's like, I'm going to steal this body and stay in it until I've used it up. But it is actually Hollis that wants to keep the ghost inside of him because he is slowly falling in love. And watching 2 teens kind of fall in love in the same body is oddly like, I don't know how to describe it.
I was going to say, what is it, Eric?
Like the way that they try to kiss is just strange, and it's like it's weirdly intimate, but like emotionally so. Obviously not physically so, because
I imagine you'd have to like kiss a mirror.
Not even that. It's more just it's all like mental kind of intimacy, and that's what I think Kay Ancrum does so beautifully. She has this way of writing these emotionally intimate scenes where it just kind of like cuts to the heart of you, where you're like, I have never realized what that emotion was. I've never been able to put that into words. And it's just beautiful to read it. I think it's because of her style. She does not mince words at all. She just like basically will write a sentence, and when you read that sentence, you're like, holy shit, I never thought about that before. It's incredible. So pick up this one.
And Icarus, while you're at it, just pick up
and
all
Icarus.
of
Icarus was I think Icarus
that was on your
that was your number 1 last year.
Yes.
So
yeah,
I think every year I'm gonna be here and be like, here, this is my Kayla Ancrum book for the week.
For the year.
Also, just because we're bringing up Ancrum, but really all of our authors, it's been a year of us doing this, and I think
2 years
that we're officially at that point. Yeah, it's been 2 years, actually. You're right. It's been 2 years of us doing this podcast. We have had one. We've only had 1 return author. I smell a bunch of return authors coming in the next year because it's about time for them to have new books out around now. So
I mean, some of our other authors have had other books out. It's just I've been trying to get newer authors in, and I'm trying to spread the
share the wealth.
We should. All right. So here's my pitch for next year. Our podcast comes out every other week. I think that if we have a stacked amount of new authors in a given month, but one of our past authors has a new book, we can do a quick, whether it's just you and them, Eric, we should do a mini episode of just like a soft pitch of their new book that we put on the alternate.
And then our mini episode will turn into an hour long.
They will turn into an hour long episode, most likely. Well, Eric, aren't we also supposed to do alternating weeks of the reading every Animorphs book
club too? Yeah, we have a lot of plans.
Yeah, we have a lot of plans, but hey,
thank God our show is growing 200%.
Yeah, thank you, Spotify. All right, Alyssa, your third book.
Okay, so my third one is going to be Diavola, and this book is described, and this is like the perfect way to describe it, is a funny vacation gothic.
Okay.
So this year, because I was in my reading slump, the things that I like to read when I'm in a slump are mostly like quick rom-com type things. Like I just started one. I like a seasonal one. Like I just started one that's like, I don't know, it like a corny name, and I know it's like 200 pages and I'll burn through it. The other one that I like to read is things that are spooky scary. And so, but I still really like seasonal. This was a perfect summer spooky scary because it's about a family that goes on vacation and the house that they're in is notoriously haunted. Like the whole town, they go to Italy. I think they're in Tuscany. So the whole town knows that this is a haunted house. The town pretty much knows that the people who go there are going to die. But they rent out this house, and one of the girls, one of the like the daughter, who's the main narrator, she is basically putting it together that the house is haunted, but she's also an alcoholic. So there are times where like she feels very unreliable and she really is not sure, but she is so funny, so sarcastic. And she's unreliable as a narrator, but she's also unreliable as a narrator like within her family. So they don't really believe everything that she's saying. And she has the job now of convincing them that something is very terribly wrong and they are in a lot of danger. But the way that the haunting happens feels it just feels like, I don't want to say sophisticated because I don't know if that's the right word, but it's not a cheap thrill. It's good. It builds and it has like nice solid lore. So I really liked that one. It was really entertaining and I read it really quickly.
Amazing. We definitely have time to do book 4. So I'm going to go with an author I really hope we get in 2026 because they are quickly becoming one of my favorite authors. Whenever I see that they have a new book out, I'll buy it. And I'll buy it in hardcover, which is rare because I prefer the feel of a paperback in my hand. Lynn Painter wrote her sequel to Better Than the Movies, Nothing Like the Movies. Better Than the Movies, one of my favorite YA books I've ever read, excluding Eric J. Brown books, obviously. And you know, it's a book about a hopeless romantic that loves rom-coms. Like, what am I not going to love about this book? But Nothing Like the Movies is a little bit darker. It's like the Empire Strikes Back of this potential trilogy, where, you know, the first book is all about falling in love with the boy next door right during your senior year of high school and everything being like a magical movie. And then Nothing Like the Movies takes place a year later and they've broken up because the next door neighbor's mother died and he went through a real rough time with that and kind of distanced himself. And it also destroyed her view of the magic of romance. So it's kind of them trying to get back together while he's also simultaneously trying to make her be that dorky, hopeless romantic again, in his attempt at a second chance. So it's kind of a cute way that the tables turn a little bit and the story arcs flip slightly. Absolutely loved it. Loved the original. Loved this. No notes. Go read it. And Eric, how about you? What was your 4th book?
I'm like looking at them, trying to figure out. I think I'm going to go with this one. It's called The Savage and Noble Death of Bads Dion. And it is about a woman in Maine who is grandmother, and she is also like the drug lord of this entire area in Maine. Her own daughter is she has two daughters. One is a Iraq war vet who is also an addict, and her youngest daughter is just like kind of the perfect little angel. The youngest daughter, it turns up dead, and the oldest daughter is now trying to find out who the killer is before her mother finds out and burns the entire town to the ground, figuring out who killed her daughter, and then basically trying to kill them too. At the same time, there is drug stuff going on in the background, and it's just a very, very propulsive read. It's a quick one, and I think Netflix just bought the film rights to it. And let me tell you something, if they do not have like Meryl Streep as Babs Dion, I am jumping out the window on next year's live stream. I'm telling you now.
Is this the one that you multiple times were like, Alyssa, you need to read this? It's like super up your alley?
Probably. I feel like,
is that the one where like the woman, the daughter dies and the other daughter has like however many hours to solve the murder before the matriarch finds out? Yeah.
It's
I forgot
really
to write
good.
that on my Goodreads list. I'm adding that right now because that
The
sounds so
characters
intriguing.
are just absolutely perfect. I'm gonna be real. The first chapter is a little like, but it takes a little bit to get into. But once you get past that like prologue, I think, where it's I think it's written in like the second person, which is like, that's you do this, you do this, you do this, and then this happens to you. Once you get through that, it becomes a third person narrative, and it becomes more, I don't know, what we're used to. So I think once it takes a little bit to get into, but it is worth it for the ride because it's a wild ride. It's really
Would you classify that as a YA novel?
No.
Okay.
It's adult through
All
and
right.
through.
I was
It's
going
like,
to say, should we
these
reach
are all
out to
adults
Ron?
with adult issues.
But-
They're all in their 40s and 50s. Babs is
Okay.
probably like 70 something.
Okay, just checking. I wanted to know what the age of the characters were. B, wanted to know if we should be hitting up Ron to be like, you want to be on our podcast?
No, I bring him in anyway. It'll
Yeah.
be great.
All right, Alyssa, do you have a fourth book?
I do, yes. Okay. My fourth one is called So Thirsty by Rachel Harrison. I feel like it should be YA, but it is listed as adult. But I'm trying to think. I guess there was like some kind of sexy stuff that happens, but not much. So I don't know, whatever. I think that if you're a fan of YA, you would like this book. It feels like it reads kind of YA to me. And I like Rachel Harrison. She writes some really fun books. And so this one is about I can't remember like what it is that sends her on this spiral, but she's spiraling. I think she like doesn't, I think her partner cheated on her, something like that. And she and her best friend go on this little like birthday weekend trip to a little cabin, and they end up coming across this other very handsome guy. Her friend is sort of like a loose cannon a little bit. She's the fun friend. And so her friend finds this guy. She's like, we're going to go to this party at his house. It's going to be so fun. They go to the party, and they slowly find out that this guy and all of his friends are all vampires. And
didn't expect that.
Yes. They're all vampires.
Are hard.
Yeah. And I don't think it like really gives too much away, but it ends up being like a very horrifying night for the two friends, but it ends in it's just fun. It felt like the whole thing felt like an adventure. I was laughing the whole time. It's like, it's very funny and very lighthearted while also being scary. That was my theme this year. It was funny and scary. And yeah, it was really fun. I loved it. It was a good time.
Nice. All right, we still have 10 minutes, so I think we can do our fifth book. This was A, past guest. B, I believe this was our only, I can't remember if this was our return guest or not. I believe this was our return guest. C, according to the document that I have that locks every single thing that I do pop culture related throughout the year, this was the first book I read in 2025. Anna Gracia. I know that is a point of contention for her too, man. With Misdirection of Fault Lines. This book rules. I'm actually reading another one of her books right now, Boys I Know.
That was my favorite.
See, I think I like Misdirection a little bit more, but I still have like
Misdirection's fun.
another 150 pages to go. But yeah, I know nothing about tennis, and I was enthralled by this book and what was going to happen between these three frenemies during this giant tennis tournament. I also like that, like, there's little to no romance in there. It really is just a book about strong competitive women, which is like a nice break to like the Y, because so much of YA has got like a romance angle. Like having one that's like, no, these are like three female friends. They're not falling in love with each other. They actually probably actively hate each other more often than not. But like this tournament really brings the worst out of them all. Like I was thrilled by it. You mentioned earlier, like something that could be a movie. This one equally just like screaming to be a movie one day.
I want it to be like Challengers, but like no sex. Like
yes,
I wanted the same amount of energy as Challengers, but like it's actually about friendship and kind of competition and realizing that they are friends. That's what I think that's perfect for.
Yeah, it's so
as
good.
somebody who doesn't know anything about tennis, there's the perfect amount of tennis in that book. Which
100%.
In Anna's defense, she like went to these tennis camps that
Wow.
15. So like,
oh yeah,
she probably, I think it's her and her editor probably dialed it back a lot. This is why. So Anna is one of our repeat guests, and she is insane because she writes an entire book.
Oh, she's the writes the entire book
trash and deletes the entire thing and starts over fresh. I feel like that's what the first draft of it was, which is all tennis stuff.
Crazy.
And she's like, all right, I got that out of my system. Here's what the real book is.
It's the two. I always blend her and Jennifer Dugan into like a single human being in my brain, because I feel like they are probably the two authors that you have the closest relationship with as well. So there's always stories about both of them, and then I can never remember which story is attributed to which of those two.
Jen's East Coast, Anna's West Coast. Boom.
That's okay.
There you go.
That will not help me at all, but thank you. All right, Eric, your fifth book.
Oh, I think I'm going to go with You Should Be So Lucky by Cat Sebastian. It is about a baseball player who, in the 1960s, who is a great baseball player. He gets drafted by this fictional New York team and all of a sudden has the worst slump of his career. And at the same time, a journalist is kind of mourning his partner who has died recently, and basically gets assigned to cover this guy's rookie season and his slump. And it's about the two of them falling in love in the 1960s. And I love this so much because it's such a sweet book. Cat Sebastian is so good at making characters that you just fall in love with instantly. And it is a book that takes place in the 1960s, and it does not shy away from the fact that being queer in the 1960s was not a lot of fun. But it doesn't let that like drag the story down. It's still uplifting. It's still, obviously, these queer men in 1960s had to find hope somewhere, and this is showing how they found it. It's beautiful. I love it so much, and it still has a really nice happy ending. So definitely pick it up if you're looking for a queer romance.
Alyssa, I know
again,
we're getting to
baseball,
the bottom of
perfect amount of baseball.
We've been very sporty
this
year.
Do you have a fifth one that you want to give a shout out to?
Okay, so not one that I read this year, but because I was talking about how I like a seasonal, especially around like Christmas time, I like something that is seasonal and just like fun. Last year, I read this book called A Very Irish Christmas. And it is it's a romance.
Irish
and
Christmas?
It is a very Irish Christmas. And it's by Debbie Johnson. It was so fun. I like kind of thought about reading it again this year, but I was like, no, there's so many of books like this. I should just read something else. But it's really fun if you're looking for something that's like a little sexy, but also very cozy because it's in Ireland. It's like lots of snow and really, really cute. And actually, there was another one that I really liked that's like a similar vibe where it was very cozy, but it takes place in Scotland. And it was also like a rom.
Christmas.
And how did you know? And how did you know? There was something else. It was like called like the something bookshop. I don't know. I'll find it. But I'm gonna give those as recommendations if anyone else. Oh, it's called the Christmas Bookshop. I fucking love the Christmas Bookshop. But
Cute.
it was so both of them are so cute. Jenny Colgan is the Christmas Bookshop. Both of them are so cute. They're just like good vibes. It's like when you want to just cuddle up and watch a Christmas movie, but you're like, I'm tired of having. Sometimes I get to the end of my day and I'm like, well, I've did all of my work screens, so now I'm going to go to my fun screens. And sometimes I don't want to do that. I need no more screens, but I still want the coziness of a Christmas movie. Those are two good ones: Christmas Bookshop and A Very Irish Christmas.
And I plan to read this next because of seasonal purposes, but shout out to one of the most delightful guests we've ever had. Jason June also has Flopping in a Winter Wonderland. Just the ball of energy we needed on a dark November of last year.
Oh, yes.
Love Jason June.
Yeah. All right, Eric, let's do, because you said you had an honorable mention. I have one. We'll just very quickly one sentence it.
Tilt, Emma Petit. It's about a 37-week-old pregnant woman, and she is in IKEA when the Cascade earthquake hits and has to go through, I think, Seattle to try and find her missing husband without having an emergency birth after the entire city's been flattened. It's fantastic. It's short. It's very quick read, and I love it so much. It's anxiety-inducing, but also very life-affirming. Read it.
Nice. Next year, I'm going to remember to bring books to hold up.
Yeah.
But my
Visual
honorable
medium
mention,
now.
the first guest we ever had, Brian D. Kennedy with My Fair Brady. Absolutely loved My Fair Brady.
So
there's like a certain amount of books that you put on the like, I'm definitely going to reread this one day, and that's firmly in that list of books that I know I will pick up and reread one day. Well, guys, that is just about time. So, real quick, everybody, if you've never heard YAOK, go ahead and subscribe to the podcast. If you're reading a book and you want to tell us about it or recommend it to us, hit us up on Instagram at YAOK Podcast. And donate, geekscapegives.com. Go and pre-order Better the Devil by Eric J. Brown. And, if either one of you, I'm going to put you both in full screen for a second. If there's anything else you want to plug, go for it. Oh, I did the wrong thing. There we go.
There we go. Just my new book, Just Better the Devil. And I guess all of my other books too. But if you pre-order this one, you can read the other ones while you wait for this to come out next month.
What a plan.
Okay, I don't really have a ton to plug right now, so I will also plug Better the Devil. It's awesome and that was the book that I texted Eric and I was like, what's wrong with you? Like, what is that? What's going on? If you are interested in I do like very different things than book things, but if you happen to be interested in following me on YouTube, I've been creating more content on there. YouTube.com/Alyssa Lube, LJUB. But otherwise, get Eric's book. You're gonna be like,
Can I real quick say a review I got recently from Booklist? So Booklist says they like had a couple of things. They said one thing that they said negatively, it's campy. I was like, that's not negative to me.
Negative.
I was aiming for campy, number one.
Yeah.
And they said at the end, they were like, an engrossing thriller with a surprisingly violent climax. And I'm like,
no,
listen,
and that's so
true. When people hear violent climax, they think of me.
Yeah. In every definition of the word climax.
Yeah.
So
I love it.
So thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to go to a very quick commercial break. And when we come back, it'll be the Nerding Out on Neurodiversity podcast with special guest, me. And in the meantime, while you're watching these ads that I built and made all day yesterday, go to geekscapegives.com to donate. Bye, guys. Love you both.
Love you.
You're listening to the Geekscape Network.